Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to talk about past continuous tense, also known as the past progressive tense. The past continuous tense, also known as the past progressive tense, describes ongoing actions in the past, such as I was writing my research paper all night. It uses the same construction as the present continuous tense, except with the past tense of the verb to be. The past continuous tense shows a continuous action that began in the past. It is the past tense version of the present continuous, which also describes ongoing actions. The present and past continuous are very similar, but the past continuous uses was and were, the past tense of to be. The present participle or ing form is usually formed by adding ing to infinitive, as we see on the first line, speak, speaking. However, there are a few exceptions to the rule. An E at the end of the word is removed, but EE, OE, and YE remain unchanged. Coming. For verbs that have a short stress vowel before the final consonant, the final consonant is doubled. Sit, sitting. And IE at the end of the word is replaced with a Y. Like, lying. For affirmative sentences, the past continuous tense structure involves the past tense of to be, was or were, and the present participle of the main verb, the ing form. Keep in mind that you must conjugate to be to match the subject. Use was or first or their person singular subject, such as I was staying, he was staying, she was staying, it was staying. And use were for all other subjects, including all plural subjects and the singular second person subject, you. For example, you were staying, we were staying, you were staying, they were staying. To form a negative sentence in the past continuous tense, we begin with the subject and we use the past tense of the verb be, was, were, followed by not, and then the present participle of the main verb. It means the verb plus ing form. For example, he was not staying, I was not staying, you were not staying, they were not staying. Another way to form these negative sentences is using the contraction wasn't or weren't. For example, I wasn't staying, it wasn't staying, we weren't staying, they weren't staying. To form an interrogative sentence in past continuous tense, we use the past tense of the verb to be, was or were, followed by the subject, and then the present participle of the main verb. It means verb plus ing. To answer this kind of questions, we use yes or no, followed by the pronoun and then the past tense of the verb to be in affirmative, was or were, or negative, wasn't, weren't. For example, was he staying? Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. Was it staying? Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. Were you staying? Yes, I was. No, I wasn't. Were they staying? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. One of the most common uses of the past continuous tense shows a past action that was interrupted by another past action. These are often complex sentences featuring subordinating conjunctions like when, while, before, after, until, or whenever. Both the action that was interrupted in the past continuous tense and the action that interrupts it in the simple past. For example, Martha was leaving her apartment when she heard a thunderstorm.
Another examples are, they were sleeping peacefully until the alarm rang. My parents arrived while I was shopping.
When you mention an exact time in the past, use the past continuous tense if the action started before that time and continue after that. If the action begins at the time mentioned, use the simple past instead. For example, at midnight, everyone at the party was still having fun.
I was working as a cashier in October. By the age of 9, I was training to be a ninja.
When you use the past continuous with two actions in the same sentence, it expresses the idea that both actions were happening at the same time. The actions are parallel. For example, I was studying while he was making dinner.
While Ellen was reading, Tim was watching television. Were you listening while he was talking?
In English, we often use a series of parallel actions to describe the atmosphere at a particular time in the past, such as, when I walked into the office, several people were busily typing, talking on the phones, the boss was yelling directions, and customers were waiting to be helped. One customer was yelling at the secretary and waving his hands. Others were complaining to each other about the bad service. The past continuous with words such as always or constantly expresses the idea that something irritating or shocking often happened in the past. The concept is very similar to the expression used to, but with negative emotion. Remember to put the words always or constantly between the verb to be and the main verb. For example, she was always coming to class late. He was constantly talking. He annoyed everyone.
I didn't like them because they were always complaining.
Thank you so much for watching this presentation.
Okay. Do you have any question or comment about this grammar topic? No? As you can see, it's very easy because we use mainly the verb to be in past, was, were, and with the main verb, the ing form or present participle. Okay, let's see if we understand more or less this tense doing our Kahoot exercise. Okay, the pin for our game is 272-8611 or scan the QR code that we have on the screen, please. Thank you so much. Okay, let's start with our Kahoot. Okay, now we start. Okay, that's great. We're playing is the correct answer to complete this sentence. The girls were playing cards. Okay, here we have the third person, Greg, that corresponds to the pronoun he. He was looking for his wallet. That's excellent. Okay, wasn't watching. Take in count that in negative sentences, we can use the contraction wasn't, or we can use it separately. Was not. In this case, we have wasn't. Mr. Miller wasn't watching his car. Okay, was doing is the correct answer to complete this sentence. Susan was doing her homework. As I told you before, the contraction in negative sentences is common. Like in this case that we have weren't playing because we are talking about they, plural subject. They weren't playing football yesterday afternoon. Excellent. Remember that if we have a yes/no question, we started using capital letter. In this case, the auxiliary verb where is going to be with capital letter because it's the beginning of this interrogative sentence. Were you sitting on the bench for a long time? No, we weren't. Okay, Peter, he was waiting for her in the park. Peter was waiting for her in the park. Third person singular. Carol, Carol and I corresponds to the pronoun we. Remember that if we are included in the subject, we are we. Carol and I, we were having dinner when he arrived. Excellent. The correct answer is was playing because we are talking about she. She was playing the guitar when we entered. Very, very easy for you. The girls were cycling home from school. Okay. Don't forget that when we find titles or abbreviation, we need to know who corresponds them. For example, in this sentence, we have Mrs. Summers, Mrs. She. Remember, Mr. Summers, he. Mrs. Summer, she. That's why the correct answer is was. Mrs. Sommer listening to him? No, she wasn't. Perfect. They were working in her office. Were, verb to be, working, main verb with ing. Perfect. Again, we find the use of contraction in negative sentences, in this case, for the third person. Ruth wasn't studying the new words. People is a plural subject. That's why we use were at the beginning. Were a lot of people waiting at the train station? Yes, they were. Nora was handing out leaflets. Okay. Don't forget, we use capital letter at the beginning of interrogative sentences. In this case, our auxiliary verb was is with capital letter. Was Daniela doing the shopping? Yes, she was. We were eating outside when it started to rain. Excellent answer to this sentence. Perfect. Was Lisa relaxing on the beach? Yes, she was. Remember that in the short answers, we use the auxiliary verb only. Yes, she was. Or no, she wasn't. Tim was sitting in the sun. Tom and Emma were visiting. Perfect. Were visiting the Transylvania castle. Very easy for you. Was she cleaning the windows? Yes, she was. Brilliant. Were they decorating their house for Christmas? Yes, they were. I was showing them most of the sites. Were talking. They were talking to their neighbors. Remember that there is a difference between the verb speak and talk. I invite you to check the difference on YouTube. What is the difference between speaking and talking? Were Anne and Paul taking a lot of photos? No, they weren't. Okay, for this Kahoot, we have Frida Almaguer on the first place, Angel Gonzalez on the second place, and Danae on the third place. Congrats, all of you. Okay. Do you have any question or comment about this grammar topic? I see that you have a good knowledge of these tense. Okay. Let me tell you some information about our next classes. Estamos ya en la unidad 2. Les pido que por favor estudien todos los contenidos y resuelvan las actividades y ejercicios que tenemos en la unidad. Recuerden que son interactivos y autogestivos. Es decir, que ustedes los tienen que realizar y la misma plataforma les da su resultado para que refuercen su conocimiento. Ok. ¿Por qué les menciono esto? Porque a finales de este mes, ahí y inicios de octubre, tenemos nuestro primer examen de conocimientos que abarca unidad 1 y unidad 2. Lo que debemos de tener en cuenta es que la fecha límite para la presentación de este examen será el 8 de octubre. Esto quiere decir que después del 8 de octubre ya no habrá forma de poder presentar ese examen. Si no lo presentas por alguna circunstancia, pues esa calificación quedaría en 0. ¿Ok? Vamos a tener más o menos como 3 o 4 días para que tú puedas resolverlo. Es decir, en ese momento no está disponible en la plataforma. Yo te voy a avisar entre el 4 y el 5 de octubre, ¿sí? Si ya está disponible para que lo programes, qué día lo contestas. Vas a tener del 5 o del 4 o del 5 de octubre al 8 de octubre para poderlo contestar. Vas a tener como 4 días para poderlo realizar. Vuelvo a repetir, si no lo realizas, tu calificación de ese examen queda con 0 y no hay forma de recuperar esa calificación, porque el examen se cierra y ya no hay forma de abrirlo. Ok. Y otra de las cosas del examen es que recuerda que no se contestan la sección de speaking y la de writing, aunque estén en el examen. Van a estar en el examen porque el examen ya está diseñado de esa forma. Ok. Pero tú no vas a contestar ni la sección de speaking ni la de writing. Acerca de estos aspectos que te acabo de hablar del examen, ¿tienes alguna duda en relación a
No,
las fechas de aplicación? ¿No? ¿No hay ninguna duda? Ok. Recuerda, en esta segunda unidad también tenemos que subir una actividad al foro, porque cada unidad tiene un foro. En ese foro nada más vas a subir tu portafolio de evidencias de la unidad 2, por favor, la unidad 2. Recuerda que el portafolio de evidencias nada más consiste en tomar 3 capturas de pantalla, ponerlas en un archivo de Word o de PDF, el que tú desees, pero no se te olvide poner en la parte superior de tu hoja tu nombre completo y tu grupo, independientemente de cómo nombres tu archivo, por favor, ¿sí? Esa es la segunda actividad que debemos de considerar para esta unidad 2. Entonces, también esa actividad, el portafolio de evidencias, tiene de fecha límite el martes 8 de octubre. Pero yo te sugiero que lo hagas lo más pronto posible para que te quede tiempo de reforzar tus conocimientos de la unidad 1 y de la 2 para presentar adecuadamente tu examen. ¿Alguna duda sobre el portafolio de evidencias que les acabo de mencionar?
no, profe.
¿No? Entonces, como siempre, I want to thank you, your time, your attendance, and see you next class. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Gracias. Profe,
Mande, Montserrat.
entonces, ya está ahorita abierto el foro, bueno, la unidad 2 para hacerlo.
No, hoy se las abro, Fátima. ¿Sí?
Ah, ok,
Hoy les abro
gracias,
el foro para que ya puedan subir sus evidencias. ¿Sí?
gracias,
Sí, hoy se los abro. ¿Alguna
gracias.
otra pregunta, alguna otra duda? No se queden con nada, ya se los he comentado. Por favor.